We'll wait for another 2 minutes. Sharp 3 o'clock. Personally learned a lot from him. Though I don't know him for a very long time, I met him for the first time. But from the very first meeting that I have seen him, there was something very common and
No, I think, yeah.
So, sir, as I said, whenever I met and when I met for the first time, there was something in. I find that I have to meet him again and again, and we have. I was fortunate enough to meet him quite often, especially on some topics related with the seafarers, which we will discuss in this show later on, getting their shore leave and other concerns. What was most unique about him that I find, and I'm sure all of you may have some different experience to share with in this during this session, that he was always ready. I have never seen him giving any excuse whenever I have called him for anything. Even seen him giving any excuse whenever I have called him for anything. Even though I said I know him for a very short span of time, last 3 4 years. But even though I had not met him in a personal, on face to face, he was ready to answer my questions, queries, doubts, whatever. So that kind of thing has inspired me to learn a lot from him in terms of how to help people. And I try to kind of copy, I would say, and do it from my side as well, whatever best that I can do at my level. So here I would like to introduce Captain Gajanan in a formal way, and then I will hand over everything to Captain Gajanan, and he will take the lead from there. So as you may, most of you may have been seeing him at different forum because he's in the he's diversified into, and he's into so many things. But I will just give a brief note about him, which I have prepared. So Captain Gajanan is a maritime leader and a very distinguished leader when it comes to maritime and logistics sector, with a robust portfolio of roles and achievements, serving as Managing Director of Cordelia Marine Services, which is in UAE. Captain Gajanan is renowned for his extensive experts as maritime consultant, G20 consultant, global ambassador of sustainability, president of All India Maritime Pilot Association. His leadership is marked by a unique blend of aggressive, force-bearing strategies, balanced with deep compassion and empathy, which has made him a pivotal figure in the maritime sector. He has sailed for about 18 years, out of that 7 years as a master. On ashore, he has into the different roles which he will himself tell us during his journey when we will start talking to him. So I'm not getting into that shore journey and whatever his entrepreneur journey which he is into it, which I will hear him out. His specialties lie in maritime and logistics, multimodal transport, supply chain excellence, and coastal shipping. As an expert in multimodal transport and surface logistics, particularly in South Asian waterways, Captain Karanjikar has worked on diverse business models and processes, implementing meaningful changes that have set new standards in the industry. His goal is to lead a company and establish well thought out maritime and transport standards, leveraging his expertise in effective leadership, command, and organizational skill. In addition to his primarily roles, Captain Gajanan serves as an authorized flag inspector, ESG auditor, verifier, certified class surveyor, ICS chartered ship broker, head of Seafarers' Rights Committee, and a certified marine surveyor. He is a professor of practice and maritime warranty surveyors, holding prestigious titles such as I have mentioned, Global Ambassador of Sustainability. He speaks at many forums. He is, of course, a dynamic leader, which we all know. He's a change agent and a global advisor to many such global projects that he has been part of. He is also the founder of maritimechangemakers.org, a platform which is dedicated to advocating of seafarers' rights, and the global advisor for radio, which is rescuing every Indian overseas. Captain Gajanan's commitment to innovation, team building, and solution-based discussion has positioned him as a transformational leader in the maritime and logistics fields. His vision extends to setting new benchmarks in maritime transport and logistics, ensuring sustainable practices and fostering a thriving environment for industry professionals. Here, I would also like to add on my personal experience whenever I have interacted with him, even recently, day before yesterday, when I was going for a Indian Chamber of Commerce Blue Economy Conclave, I called him up and I fixed a time, and he was ditto 5 minutes before the time available. And he has given a very great input on blue economy, which we will discuss again during this session. So thank you very much, sir, and welcome to this show. And I'm very, very glad that you have accepted this offer of ours, and we will be very happy to hear you out and learn from your journey that you have gone through in maritime and otherwise also. So welcome, sir. Over to you now.
Thank you very much, Amresh. Captain Amresh, thank you so much for this initiative. And it's been always my quest that somehow our industry cadets and officers, they don't have role models. They don't have, we didn't have, when I was cadet myself, we only had role models as our chief officers and our masters. And some stories we had heard about, some people whom we have not sailed with, but knew their character and their working style and leadership and things like that. But this series, I'm very, very, honored to be here is one thing, but very happy that you have started this for the cadets and for the future generations of shipping, for them to hear out, and learn from the leaders. I'm not a great leader as such. I'm still striving to survive, striving for the excellence all the time. But other leaders whom you have interviewed already and also going to interview, the cadets and other officers, OC courses also, they will learn a lot. Because shipping is only, very closed loop industry. So unless the learning is brought to their doorstep, they will not be able to learn, because the industry is such that, you can really fall off the line if you're not guided well. Because money is there with the cadets and officers. They have a free life away from home. So it is quite possible for them to fall off the line on the other side if you don't hold their hands and bring them this side and make them good leaders, good citizens of India. Because again, they are the flag bearers of our Indian shipping, whether they're working in the foreign countries, foreign waters, or anywhere. They being Indian, representing India, is always they are looked up to for the characters, for their skill set, and also for their behavior. So thank you very much for these talks, and please continue this. Don't stop this. Anytime you have a mindset of stopping it, please let me know. We will prepare somebody else to take over this and continue this, because this must reach minimum 100 episodes. Is my top target to you. So please reach 100 episodes and continue these talks. Thank you so much, and thank you everyone for joining. I'm not a great leader, but the introduction was very humbling, and I really want to live up to the every word he said in the introduction. I'm still striving, and that is my quest to strive for the excellence. Thank you.
So nice to have you, sir. And again, all wisdom which is coming out from your mouth, I think is going to help all of us. And we are all in the same journey. Somebody is ahead, somebody is behind, but we are all in the same journey. So, sir, we will divide this segment. Basically, in the beginning, we will hear you out from your journey, from your schools, whatever you would like to share with us, until your cadetship training, and then your journey on board ship till you became master. And once you came ashore as a employee, and then of course your entrepreneur journey. In between, you have done so many things such as AIMPA, such as seafarers' right commissions, and many other things. So, as and when you feel that you want to add those topics, you are requested to add those topics, but we will go in this sequence so that our cadets who are listening to you, they will also understand the challenges. It's not that what you are seeing Captain Gajanan now at such a big position, he also has had same kind of probably more trouble than what you are going through. So we will hear him out, because those days definitely the situations were not as best as we could see now. The communication was a bigger issues and many other things I'm sure he will share with us. So let us start from a very young Gajanan who is starting from his village in Dhule. How you started, sir? I mean, how you came up, and please share your journey right from wherever you can remember.
Yeah, thank you very much, and a good lineup for the interview. And I would like to share my stories, of course. I mean, they are no different from any other stories, but of course, every story has got its own, silver lining or a black lining, you can say as well. I am from a very low middle class family. My parents were teachers. Father was a teacher in school. Mother was a primary teacher. So born and brought up in a North Maharashtrian district called Dhule, very landlocked area. Had no idea about shipping and career and progression. When I visit now as well, the Dhule is about 20 years back, from Bombay. So it is still progressing. It is still a small town. It is still they also have shopping malls now. They also have good roads, but still people are relaxed mindset. So there was my childhood was very great though, because I was since age of 5 associated with the RSS, and I used to go to shakhas every day and things like that. So my entire, I look back at the journey of leadership, as you call it. I don't call myself a leader again, but all those things I have learned from there, on that ground, on those, or with those people who have dedicated themselves to social work. And this entire social work angle, or a selfless service angle, has come to my life from that time. And I also see in RSS there are many functions are taken, and every function you are given you're a small boy or 6, 7, 8-year-old, but you are still given a small responsibility. Okay, you bring flowers, you bring incense sticks for the function, or you bring photo frame, or you bring a chair. So you are from day one into that responsibility. Think, I had to do this. This is my responsibility. I tell you, till today, whenever I have seek to sort a job or whatever, I have never seen my job description, because everything is what is told to you. It becomes your job. It becomes your responsibility, and that sense it came to me in very beginning. Since the parents were teachers, the atmosphere at home was very studious. My eldest brother is a very very studious person. I was not so much, but I was into sports. I was into kabaddi. I played wrestling in my college days. And another thing I did in my college days was NCC, National Cadet Corps, Army Wing, and that's where again I learned a lot of things. That's where I learned to lead some few students, few groups from my 8th standard onwards. I was sergeant, then I became under officer, I became senior under officer, battalion under officer. I did the RD parade camps, so all that added to the lot of aspiration. What I would like to tell you, till date, I have aspirations. I want to grow ahead in time. So when I finished my 12th, of course, I wanted to be a doctor, because there's no Dr. Karanjikar in the entire Maharashtra, I believe. there's no MBBS Dr. Karanjikar, so my father wanted me to become doctor. I said, fine. So I did a lot of studies in 12th standard, taking PCB as a group. And of course, but I couldn't get up to the marks because I got 87% and 90% those days. A group mark 3%, I got less. So I lost my medical admission. I could have taken in a admission in a kind of a donation college, but there was no money for that kind of thing. So I joined something again, a track changing institute called Agriculture College. So I started doing agriculture college for 2.5, 3 years, because it was the thing those days, and all MPSC, UPSC exams, the agricultural students were doing very well. So idea was to get through that stream and get into administrative services of India. Nation building or nation serving was always on the mind all the time. I was cut out for army, as last lot of people said that time, you should join army and not to get anything else. And when I was a NCC under officer, one of my colonels of battalion, who was head of the battalion, was telling me, you join SSB and I will get you in that, don't worry. Meantime, I did a lot of examinations of seaman, airman, this, that, because small towns you don't have much opportunities, so you got to find them. So that's another virtue came in me, of keep finding opportunities. And until date, it is on. I still keep finding opportunities as to what I can do better, what I can do different than everybody else. And this is how it has put me in this stage. Of course, selection in Merchant Navy was tough. I had to give my maths exam again of 12th standard for me as an external candidate, which I did in 1988. And then I passed out in 89. I failed for the first time. And second time, again, I gave very seriously. And I passed in algebra and geometry, both papers, more than 60% marks. And I got my NOC from DG Shipping to join as a cadet. And then I joined as a direct entry cadet of Chowgule Steamships. I mean, I can go on, but the cadetship journey was very tough, because coming from vernacular medium, coming from a small town, with a lot of aspirations, and being involved in a lot of social work since childhood. I always wanted to do something different. And when I went on board with my English speaking ability, which was very, very bad, those think in Marathi that I was made of fun of. It happens. But one thing, I had to remind myself every time I had to survive this. I had to be here. Because quitting something is very easy. You can always quit something, which is very, very easy. Unless you have a very bad habit, which you can't quit, because it gets into your DNA, they say. But when I only keep reminding myself, you are doing so well in college. What is so tough on the ship? What is so tough on getting along with people? What is so tough in impressing them with your qualities that you have? I could never do that. Because again, it was multicultural, multi-regional, pan-India kind of a crowd on the ship, and it was very difficult for me. Recently, when I was mentoring one of the cadets 2.5 years back, the one cadet who was on board, he told me the same thing. And since I was there in his shoes, 30 years, 35 years back, I could exactly tell him what to do. And I told him. He survived. He came back, he finished his third officer's ticket. He again went back, he came back, he's doing his mates now. And all the time he thanks me. He said, sir, you really told me that time to survive. So that one thing I wanted to always, keep in my mind, that I will not quit. If I quit, then the game is over. Then again, you will always look for a comfortable position, comfortable situation. I would have gone back to Dhule, did some government job, and nothing else. I mean, fine, I would have still done better or whatever it is. It all depends on destiny. But I wanted to survive on the ship. And I'm really thankful to my chief officers. I still meet them. Whenever I meet them, I touch their feet. Not because they helped me to survive, not because they taught me, but it was in my mind always the obligation that this man was there. he told me a few things that night on the watch, and I could listen to him. I could follow that up, and I survived. So all my, I mean, Chocolate Simpsons, of course, as a company, I regard them very high. It was not shipping company those days, Great Eastern Shipping Corporation of India, Chocolate. They were institutes. They were institutes which were producing those great talents. Coming a direct entry cadet on board, you don't have any pre-C experience. You have nothing. I mean, I was such a army mindset guy that when I came on board for the first time, I was looking for guns. I was looking for weapons. I was so stupid. And now I laugh at myself. But I was so engraved into it. So when I came to know, Kere, this is not the case, and this is the commercial navy, and the only reward I could get those days of doing hard work. And mind you guys, I used to really work 16 hours a day. I mean, my days to start morning 4 o'clock with the watch on bridge, and till night 8 o'clock, and thereafter you do about 2 hours study on whatever subject is given by chief officer, stability, because we had no pre-C training, so we had no idea about it. So I did all that. I learned from my chief officers, from my senior officers, and the exercises to do, and I did it. And I used to sleep at 10 o'clock. I mean, getting up at morning 4 o'clock used to be so difficult, I tell you. If somebody tells me to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning now, it is very easy for me because I do get up at morning 4 o'clock many times. But those days, when you are young, sleep comes to you very naturally at any given time. And we used to take those, 15, 20 minutes nap in lunches, in the lunchtime. 12 to 1 is to be lunchtime, 12:15 all lunch is to be over. And come back to the cabin, change and sleep for 20 minutes. Till the time, Sukhani comes to call you. So those were the days. Cadetship was tough, but it was a lot of learning. I'm very proud. I did about 21 months at one shot as a cadet on a ship. And I learned so much. I was not promoted to a third officer, but I was doing third officer's watches. I had finished entire stability one, and I had finished about 50 subs of headship on the ship before I could come down for exams. So it was like, those kind of things were given on board. And despite not having a pre-C background, despite not having a classroom education about stability and things like that, I realized one more quality in me, that I can learn something on my own. And it's very important quality. I'm doing my PhD now, so I'm still using that quality. So idea is to, the day you can teach yourself and teach others at a very young age, it comes to your mind automatically a sense of understanding a text, understanding a problem, understanding, a crux of it, and then solving it. So that quality, it came in me. I'm writing a book on the 6 qualities that the shipping career gave me. And those 6 voyages actually, and it will come out probably next year. I'm still writing it, but I had it requires a lot of navigational data, so they will come. But what I'm trying to tell you is that every situation makes you learn something, and that learning, it comes to you, provided you want to take it. So due to my upbringing, due to my small town, kind of mentality, due to my hunger, a fire in the belly, I could literally do that. Let me learn something out of the one incidents. Never mind. So an incident happened about 3 days back, which I learned something from it. So it all the learning, and never make the same mistake again. That one you must keep reminding yourself. I will not make this mistake again. And say this 10 times when you make a mistake. You will not make a mistake again, I'm telling you. Because it gets into your action. Those actions become habit. So thought to action, action to habit is a journey which is taught in corporate world today to everyone, which we have learned very practically. And again, coming from social background, I had no realms about, working with anybody on board. So it was only an initial, hindrance was there. When I came back, I got my G form those days. I second minutes to get G form, and I joined straight as second officer. I was so proficient in work that the company wanted me to join as second officer straight. And again, when I joined as second officer, those days there was no ISM, no passage planning formats and things like that. But one of the captains, he taught me all this, because he had studied in UK. So he taught me all this, saying that, Kiare, you must not have been taught all this in college. Let me teach you. And then I learned all these things. Then I became, in 94, 95, I became chief officer very early. I mean, one of the dry docks, I believe, I was very interested in dry docks and things like that. I mean, ship repairs is to really, because there's a lot of challenging work. In ship repairing of a ship, you always find problems because people come to you as a ship staff with a lot of problems. So as a second officer, I took over the duties of chief officer in 1993, hardly any time after my cadetship completion. So, and of course, that is in Chowgules again. Chief officer had to sign off. Somebody had to become chief officer. So I became chief officer. And then you become another quality came in, your problem solver. Because in China, those days, the dry docks in China, people will always ask you the problem. Sir, where is this? Where is that? Where is what? So you also don't know. You have to refer to the plans, refer to the books, find out, ask your senior, solve a thing, show it to him, get it done. So this chain of information, of somebody asking you a question, you giving the right answer, and making sure that person has understood the answer and he does the right job. And again, after completion of his job, you go and check. So this chain is very important in execution. Whether you are a CEO, you are a president, you are anybody in company, this chain people have to still follow. That giving only talking is not an instruction. That's why I wrote recently that leadership is in action. Leadership is not giving instructions. There are a lot of instructions available everywhere. There are a lot of people who will give you good guidance, good instructions. But the mentors are those who will make sure that you understand the instructions, you follow them. And after completion of job, they will check whether instructions were understood and followed practically. So the entire leadership package is completely in actions. And I'm very happy that, I learned that at that stage. Then I completed my formal mates in 1995. Okay, then I had no tanker experience then because Shagules always had bulk carriers. So then I joined tankers. I became a chief officer on tanker. And of course, once you're an officer, then, the life becomes a little easier on board. Though responsibility is there, but you don't have to do physical work. So a lot of work planning. So that one thing I learned when I joined foreign company after Chogule's stint with me. My stint with Chogules, I joined a foreign company, and foreign company again had its own challenges. So I joined a company called Univan Ship Management, and Univan Ship Management is another institute, guys. I mean, it is something that it makes you learn on the ground, which you can't learn in any colleges, 100%. In Chowgules as a chief officer, I had a very good life. Like, always I had workshops to do some work, and
But
I
here
could
I would
only.
like to here I would like to kind of hold yourself till you go to master journey. So now one thing that I would like to ask here, that moving from Indian-based company, the Chogle, which is itself is an institution, as you rightly said, to the foreign company Univan, was there any cultural difference? Was it a multinational crew? Or because in Chogle, I'm sure all of them will be Indians, made with the different parts of India, but must have been all Indians. So Univan, you had a mixed crew like Filipino crew, Indian officers, or you were always having Indian crew throughout?
The first ship had an Indian officers and Indian crew, but the second ship had Filipino crew and Filipino officers. Yeah, but what I
Challenges.
realized, of course, there are a lot of difference in cultural differences, of course, there, I mean, but by that time, when you become a chief officer and join somewhere a multinational crew or multicultural crew, multi-religion crew, then definitely that comes in your mind ki your proficiency speaks, So you get the respect out of your proficiency. You're a good chief officer. When I joined, I'm telling you a story. I just want to tell you a story about my chief officer days in Univan. When I joined the Univan, I had a master which was absolutely tough. He was the number one master in Univan. And he had sacked 3 chief officers before me. And he told me on a day of appointment, later handed over to him, a day I joined, he told me, you're the 4th one. Watch out. And then I didn't understand the meaning of it. So then I came down to then second officer told me, sir, he has already sacked 3 chief officers. The thought came in my mind, why would somebody sack me? I mean, I'm a hardworking guy. I know my job. why would somebody sack me? And I don't, I mean, back answer. I'm not a misbehaving kind of a person. So, that thought itself gave me a lot of confidence. And I worked. I'm telling you, I mean, that master was there only for 4 months contract. He's quietly increased his contract to 6 months because he had a good chief officer. And he would always see me on deck, working here, working there, and planning things and discussing with him and asking him, reporting him. So, it all fall in place. And of course, the entire, then, if you're good at your job, entire ship will respect you. So multinational crew, multi-cultural crew, it didn't matter to me that time because again, when you are also in Indian crew, you are dealing with foreign stevedores and things like that, always in foreign countries. So that thing is always there of, having a sense of talking and things like that, discussing and a lot. So again, I became very good friends with Filipinos and, even I had Malay crew on one of the ships. So those were very, very good crew, Maldive crew. So, I mean, I had no challenges. So it only happened to me when I stopped sailing in 1998 to start an industry in Nasik. And, I came down for a few months and, I wanted to start some small business. And this time, it so happened that I had to, take a break from shipping for almost a year. And come down and do start up a small factory in Nasik. But then I was in 2000 and in 1998 it went down to recession, and I had to again I thought that time of joining back ship again, because money is money again, and your core competency always keeps calling you. Whatever you do in life, your core competency will always make you feel comfortable. That's why you come there. So in 99 again I joined a shipping company. I mean again Chowgule's I joined because they had a new bulk carrier at that time and they wanted a chief officer. Of course, with my foreign experience and with certain practices and things like that, I was really very happy to come back to Chowgule's and make a lot of difference in their working culture and on board and all that. And of course, with that kind of attitude, that kind of a planning, that kind of a communication skills, company looked up to me as a master. So I'm very proud to say that as soon as I cleared my master's exam, I was promoted as master. I had no waiting time whatsoever. Before that, I had already had 4 ships as chief officer. So company was very happy to promote me. And in 2000, I became master. Of course, so it was a great journey from cadetship to master. In a sense that there was a positive attitude. I had tough life. There's some financial commitment at home. My parents expired in between. So, it always happens. So the life is all mixed. And if you're a survivor, I'm sure, you can be given any position anywhere in the world over, you will survive. Because at the basic instinct of yours, you have taught yourself to survive and excel,
Okay, sir. So we have heard you from starting your career as a cadet. Of course, direct entry cadet has their own challenges, which you have rightly mentioned. And then you became chief officer with Chowgule and then moved to Univan again as a chief officer. And came back again Chowgule and became master over there. So we will take that journey of master, which I feel the leadership in shipping starts only when real journey of leadership starts in shipping when you actually become master. Because talking about master and as you said, talking about leadership and doing yourself as a leader in that role makes a lot of difference. Of course, as a chief officer also we have that quality, but then actual true leadership generally develops once you become master on board ship. One more thing that I want to highlight, sir, why I was purposely asking you about the culture and the diverse nationalities and all, because nowadays this is kind of a regular phenomena. When our cadets will go on board ship, they will probably work in a multinational setup. And we kind of got that opportunity probably when we became second mate, like you in your case, when you become chief mate, then you got that multinational setup. And at that level we have that kind of maturity wherein we can easily cope up with those kind of situation. And also you are a chief officer, so you may not have that kind of you will not have to face that kind of real issues which maybe the cadets or the junior officers, engineers may have to face when they work on the multinational crew setup. So any advice for those younger cadets or junior engineers or young officers, that how to survive on those situations when you are not in a commanding position, when you are not in that kind of leadership position?
See, it's very simple strategy that I still follow. I always make one, a kind of a quote. To become a good leader, you need to have a good heart. That is very important. If you're a good-hearted person, no matter which nationality you're sailing with, if you can be perceived by others as you're a good man, you're a good girl, or you're a good boy, or you're a good worker, you're a sincere person, nobody will trouble you. Number one. Because that good thing at heart means also respecting others, means also helping others, means also, communicating well with others. So when you have these qualities, I don't think you'll have any trouble with any nationalities unless you're on the wrong side of the group or something like that, or But I found the most notorious selling so-called communities I have been very friendly with. Even I had sailed with Pakistani crew once, and they were damn good. I mean, we had unnecessarily in our head that yaar, so and so person, so and so nationality is bad. No, it is not bad. It is all your interaction depends. I mean, it makes it happen, and it is all that the way you talk to them, the way you approach, the way you say hello, the way you say talk, the way you help them, the way you seek help. So every time you are perceived. So if you're a good person at heart, you have a helping nature. I don't think you'll have a trouble at any position, whether a cadet or a viper or a AB or OS, anybody.
Correct.
And those qualities are very easily recognizable. You would always see in a thousand people a good-hearted man when you talk to him.
Agree, sir. So basically, all those cadets who are listening to Captain Gajanan, and if you're making a notes, do make a notes what he said, that you become good at whatever you are doing it. So when you're talking to someone, whether it is your fellow crew members or officers, you become good when you're talking. When you are doing some work, become good at whatever work that has been assigned to you. So when you take that as one step at a time, one work at a time, whatever, suppose you are now listening to him, make a note as much as you can and see what you really need to work upon. Because we all know one
No.
thing for sure, that what we do not know.
आप यूज क्या चल कहाँ हो ये इंडिया में ही
Once we know what we don't know, then it's very easy to work. So make a list. He has said so many things, good thing about leadership. I will summarize it. He will also summarize in due course. So, sir, now coming back to a journey as a master, what was the difference that you have noticed? Although as a chief officer, we do interact with master regularly, we may sometimes assist him during arrival, departure, and a lot of other activities. Sometimes we prepare everything and he just come before the pilot boards the vessel, or pilots comes on the bridge. As a chief officer, we all probably have done, you may have done the same thing. But when you actually became first time, I'm talking about the first time command, how different it was when it comes to responsibility wise, and what additional did you had some kind of fear or some kind of sense of happiness that now I am actually performing as a master, though you may have done the same work as a chief officer but under somebody's supervision? How different it was?
I mean, indeed, I laugh at it now. I mean, you will also laugh at it, being experienced master. When I cleared my masters, I went to Chagule's back and I told him I finished my masters. Now I'll get my, that we used to call it license or COC in 2 days' time. And one of the fleet officers told me, sir, we have handed over our fleet to ASP ship management and ASP will give you command. I said, oh God, again they will ask me to sail as chief officer now. So I wish I can't do, because I was already 4 years chief officer and I was damn tired. So I have to work very rigorously as chief officer. So when you said about leadership, as chief officer, as master, is a lot different. So Captain Halbe is witness to this, because Captain Halbe was at the time heading ASP ship management, Indian office. And I went to meet him. And he told me, they told me that we are promoting you as master. I mean, he didn't ask me, since the name came from owners. He didn't ask me what experience I have and whether he did not take my formal interview. So he told me. So it was a kind of a shock for me. I mean, in a good way. I said, oh my God. So I have to be master now. So I told him, sir, give me 2 days to think and I will give you a call back. He said, whatever. I mean, if I say no, he would tell owners ki the master he promotes is not taking over. Fine. We will take him back as chief officer, we'll put him on board and watch him for few more years and promote him if we like him. So I went back to Nasik. The laughing material comes now. I had sailed. When I went back home, I wrote the names of the masters I've sailed with. There were 21. 21 masters I had sailed from my cadetship to the day I became master itself. And all those masters, I went back in my mind map, thinking about those masters, what they have done. And I really realized all those masters were good in something or the other. Somebody was damn good in victualling, somebody was damn good in passage planning, somebody was damn good in maneuvering, somebody was very good in dealing with, the foreign officers and harbor masters and stevedots, and, somebody was damn good in helping the crew, somebody was a, heart of the crew, helping crew right to the end, all out of the ways. Somebody was good in communication. So then I said, how do I become a mixture of all this and become a good guy? No jokes. I still have a paper which I recently gave 2 years back to my son to read it. I wrote those 21 masters' name and I wrote each of the 3 qualities. So I had 63 qualities to follow on my day 1 as a master. And again, to tell you frankly, there was no way I could have failed. So on my first ship when I went, of course, I must have not done all 63, but I must have done at least 20. I became very popular master because the ship was detained. So I communicated well with company. Company liked me very much. Yes, this captain is good. He tells us everything. So slowly like this, I acquired all of them. And by the end of second ship as master, I was very popular master. I mean, people were ready to join my ship and asking company as to where is he? We want to join. Somebody was very good in victualling. So I was damn good in food myself, So there was no complaint about food on my ship. And that's the only one thing I always thought about crew. Crew welfare, talking to crew, talking to cook every day. Very small thing. Somebody makes a phone call on ship and you ask him, whom did you call and how's everything at home? I was talking in one of the NCRTC conferences and with his cadets. And everybody asked, sir, we get into depression on board and what do we do? The depression thing has come recently because there is lack of dialogue. In our time as a cadet, we could not see master, but times have changed now. The master has to really be available. So one of my masters, he would never lock his cabin. That was his quality. He was known for it. I would never lock my cabin as well. My cabin has to be always open. And I used to always tell people, cabin is locked when I'm sleeping inside. Otherwise, I'm awake, I'm on the bridge, my cabin is also always open. If you don't trust your fellow shipmate, these are all small things which people talked about other masters' qualities. I adopted them. And to say, I did it very well. So popularity is one thing, but proficiency came to me before. Tata's, Tata company is a big company. They hire hundreds of MBAs every year and engineers every year and put them as understudies under VP, Vice President, Presidents and everybody else. Why? To learn the leadership style. So 1 year, all these MBA interns, so-called, hired by Tata's, they are undergoing a study of leadership by from general manager, purchase, general manager operations, general manager finance. See how they speak, how they talk, how somebody receives. So, if you visit our today's cadets career, they don't absorb so many things on ship. We were made to absorb, but I could really relate that to myself as I learned from a lot of my masters, a lot of my chief officers as to how to talk to people, how to receive them, how to put a point across, how to argue without arguing. These are all very important qualities you learn on the job, practically. I'm a great reader of self-help books. I'm telling you, last 20 years, I must have read about 200 books on the self-help. I'm a great fan of them. Good reader also. But I still remember all those qualities which I read in those books, I have learned them practically on board. Because I was a good learner. I was a good observer. I could observe something in somebody or some good quality in somebody. I still do that. When a driver is driving car today, I observe a good quality in him and always compare him and other driver. What is good in him, and what is bad in him. You always have a lot of good qualities in a lot of people. So that was the main thing. And of course, then as I told you, once you become a popular master, once you are kind of known into the circle, it gives you a lot of confidence. It gives you a lot of stride, and say that yes, I can do a lot of things. And this is how I became superintendent later on. And I took up a dry dock job myself. I said I will do it for the owners, and that gave me another confidence. So it's all that you aspire, you put yourself forward, take the thing, learn from it, excel into it. It isn't that stages of steps of professional. Thank you.
Very, very correct, sir. Very correct. So we will take Mr. Pramod Singh. You have raised the hand. We will take question answer in next 5 minutes. Few more segment is there, and then we will be opening the forum for question and answers. So, sir, your master journey has been excellent. You became a popular master. Very good. That comes with a lot of responsibility as well. So when everything was going so well, I'm sure everybody has some or other story to narrate when we come ashore for shore job, and then again we all have to start from scratch, because whenever we move from one point to another point, that point is the beginning of something else. Maybe the end of the other journey that you have started, such as when we start our career from cadet to master. So point A to point B, let's say, is master, and then point B again you start a shore journey, so that become a point A for something else. So how was your shore journey? And when you say shore journey means, I also would like to know your entrepreneur journey now, which you are doing it, and how is that different? If you can summarize in next 2-3 minutes, and then we can open the forum for the questions.
Sure. I mean, it's a very again interesting journey. When I wanted to come ashore, a lot of offers came to me. But then one thing I realized, before I step ashore, I mean, as being from background which was from low middle class, I came all the way through my own learnings. I wanted to learn something more. I said, I realized one thing, that the shore offices, their prime duty is to advise master. So before I take up a shore job, I mean, I didn't want to take a HSQ job, of course. And I said, before I come ashore, I must have that much of knowledge to advise a master on board. Do this now, because somebody will ask you, what is the. So I had put something in my mind, and I said, unless I finish 50 ports, enter, exit as a master, I will not come ashore. So I believe I came ashore first when I had done 42 ports in world. And I mean, I was really a very, enterprising master as well. So when I used to go to the port, I used to go to the harbor master's office. I used to meet them. I used to say hello, hi. I had no visiting card of mine, but I used to say I'm a master of this ship. If we are on Saturday in the port, I used to call them for dinner or call them for lunch on board. Please come. I mean, those days it was okay. It was not so stringent, ISPS regulations as well. So it was quite a good rapport building or a PR exercise, you must say. I still know all of those people. I still, if you ask me a port captain in New Zealand, and if I can get in touch with him, I can get in touch with him now. So it was that kind of a thing which I had done, and it was very, very encouraging also. So I came first ashore in 2005 as a dry dock superintendent. There was a dry dock of one of the vessels, and I put my hand up saying, I will do it. So they said, will you do it as superintendent? I said, yes, I will do it as superintendent. So then I did that for 2.5 months in China, connected with loads of people in China. I mean, lot of people, lot of friends I've made in China. And then thereafter, again, since the 7-8 ports were remaining, so I said, I will do one more ship. And that time the offer came from Mercator of taking over a new ship, brand new ship, go to the yard and take over. I had not done that job before. I said, okay, I will do it. So I went to the yard. Then yard delivery is a different ball game altogether. So I learned more things about that, and took over to the delivery. And when I finished my 50th port, which was Singapore, which was Singapore Anchorage, I mean, of course, it was 3-4 times the same port, but still 50th port of Singapore Anchorage, I signed off, and of course, with my good luck and good, my seniors, somebody offered me a job in Marketer Singapore, and I said, fine, I would take it. So then I joined Marketer Singapore as a dry dock superintendent. We made a small dry dock team, and thereafter I rose to the as a technical manager, and I also went on to doing the crewing and the operations and marine operations and things like that. Finally, again, I became a head of dry docks and marketer before I came down in 2015 from Singapore marketer to India. And I was an India marketer. I mean, of course, again, during that journey also I had my bosses. There's so much to learn from them. It's all depends upon you what you want to learn. If you can keep fighting with them, you can keep fighting. You can have tussle with them and don't learn anything. So it's very important to gel with people. Increase your PR, learn good things from them, be in somebody's good books. And again, be firm with your voice or with your whatever opinion is there. You must be very firm with it. One thing I've learned in my entire journey of 35 years, that I'm still very fearless. I don't give opinion for the sake of pleasing someone. I want to give opinion because it's my opinion. It's going to stay with me and it's going to stay on record. So that one thing, I till the time I formed the Association of Pilots, when I went to meet, Mr. Sanjay Bhatia in Bombay port about the pilot incident, and I told him, so this is what it is. At that time, I was a port stevedore. I mean, I was holding company which was a stevedore in port. I should have been very, amicable to him and say, sir, sorry, sir, no problem, sir, we can do it, sir, we can help you. I said, no, so there'll be protest if the pilot is not helped. And this is how, that fearlessness gives you a different confidence and also responsibility of opining correctly. Because if you're a diplomatic guy, it's fine. I mean, you can be diplomatic and do nothing in life, be in good books of everybody. But if you're a fearless, you got to be taking responsibility of your opinion. What you opine has to be correct. Thereafter, I had done about 10 years of shipping, and 10 years of shipping was really very dynamic for me. I had transited through various positions till I became head of dry dock, and I came to Bombay. I became GM, quality assurance and compliance in Marketer, Mumbai, looking after the coastal tankers. And somehow I was good in my job. So I was kind of a man Friday for all the problematic jobs I used to be put forward to. But then I was very tired in those 10, 11 years of shipping. So I said, I'll do something different. One of the masters, whom I had sailed with, he was heading company down south in Chennai called Sikal Logistics. And he offered me a job of, coastal shipping, head of coastal shipping in Sikal. And then I came to Chennai. Coming to Chennai also was an great experience. I was there for 4.5 years, almost 1 year that went in this thing. But again, from shipping to corporate world is again different transition altogether, because there's so much of politics, so much of lobbying. So if you're a person who can get bogged down with it, you can never perform your job. So again, that survival instinct of my king, I will survive. Never mind, let people be against me, let people be for me. Entire team was from South India. Entire team was Tamil speaking, this thing. I was the only Marathi guy, but I said, no problem. I mean, proficiency will take me through. Again, your opinions, your decisions, your responsibility taking measures, they matter. They mattered to me. Then of course 2019 COVID started in 2020 and 21. 2019, one of our leaders, of Cafe Coffee Day committed suicide. So the company had to close down. So I resigned from there, come back. And then I had a question mark in front of me. I was already, 50 plus. Then I had a question mark in front of me. Should I again look for a job? And no harm. I could have easily looked for a job, called 10 people and told them. Of course, 20 people came forward helping me for a job. Everybody was telling me, there's a vacancy here, there's a vacancy there, you apply here, apply there. Then I said, no, I will do something on my own. And that's where I started doing freelancing in McKinsey on their ArcelorMittal terminal in Ajira. I did a couple of jobs there, and 6, 7, 8 months, whatever it is I could do. Then I got an opportunity to come to Dubai. Dubai again, it was a job. I was reluctant to take it, but I said, okay, never mind. So I took it up. And then I realized in Dubai that ease of doing business is so easy here. And there's really lack of competence. And this is how I wanted to, I should have done this 10 years back, I'm telling you. Becoming a employer is more satisfying than becoming an employee. You may be head of the company. You may be head of the company of a stock listed company in NYSE also. Never mind. But becoming an employer and paying 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 people's salary yourself by working yourself out is very satisfying. Because it is not only command, it is the empathy that you have towards your employees. As an employer, you have empathy. You can generate an empathy. As an employee, you have to beg for it. I hope my boss considers my compassionate leave. I hope my boss considers to let me go on a holiday. But here I take holiday. I come to Mumbai probably 2, 3 times a month because there's some work, and I come back immediately. There's no hurry to come back. But no, I always get that thing in my mind. I have to pay somebody's wages, somebody's something. So that entrepreneur journey is very satisfying. I would tell everyone after a certain stage in life, please quit. The employers will pay you to forget your dreams. I'm telling you. Pay you only for that. You don't use your dreams, use my dreams. So we must think about our dreams. I'm telling you, once you put that leg that side, so many ideas. Now I get so many ideas. I'm doing at the moment 10 things in Dubai as well. So many ideas come into mind. Why can't I do this? Why can't I do this? Why shouldn't I talk to this fellow? Other day I met somebody from Scotland, Chamber of Commerce, person had come to Dubai. He had so many business opportunities, to discuss. And so we sat, we were supposed to meet for 15 minutes. We ended up meeting for 3 hours and discussing things. There's so many things, you can do on your own time, when you are on your own. So my really, this thing is gain your proficiency, jump into it. Create employment for people. That's the best thing. That's what I said. When I said about learning
excellent.
When I said I'm learning from Pandey, that is what we learned from him.
No, I'll open the forum. I will open the forum in few minutes. So excellent journey so far, sir. And as you rightly said, we all have certain stage, and we must have. I'm sure most of us must have read inside various books also as a human psychology how it develops. So now, since you have already seen the journey on board SAP, you have seen the journey as an employer with some good company you have worked with. You have also done some freelancing job, and now you are running your own company. Are you in a stage to leave up everything? Have you come to the stage of renunciation? That no, enough is enough. That's it. Now I have achieved. Now I should do. Because why I'm asking this question? Because I find you at many times, and especially I have seen you also in some times, that you're open for helping people. And that kind of situation comes only when you have a time in your control. See, you cannot just say, okay, fine, I'm coming. Okay, tell me what is to be done. Because if you already have some pre-arranged commitment with someone, you can't just say like that. So have you come to a position, or can, let's say, at that age where you are in, can we all think of, okay, fine, that will be a situation where we can now say, that's it, everything is done, we have achieved whatever we were supposed to achieve. Now let us give back to the society in whatever way we can. And that is the better way to contribute to whatever we have learned, excelled, proficiency gained. Ultimately give back to the society. And I'm sure that is why AIMPA has come up. That is why your other activities that you are doing for seafarers or other things. So have you come to that mental condition wherein now material is fine? We need a kind of balanced approach. We need a material life. We need a spiritual life. So kind of balanced stage has come for you now.
There's a lot of pressure from home. Why do you want to stay alone and come and stay with us and now relax? You've been working since the age of 18. So my son, who's a High Court lawyer now, he always tells me this, Fanda, please don't work anymore, relax, write books, teach in some colleges, do something. But you see, there are two things to it. When your own time, that's the only satisfaction you get to help others. It will not be right in my part to help out somebody in somebody else's time. Because I'm doing a job somewhere, then I'm committed 9 to 5 to somebody, 9 to 5, 9 to 10, whatever it is. I'm committed with my professional knowledge also. Even the social presence also decreases because you are bounded by certain agreements with certain corporates, certain this thing. So now I'm on my own. So I always think that I will curtail my work to what is required, because that the requirement will never stop. I want to today I have a company which is a survey company and audit company in Dubai. I want to expand it to something else. I would take more employees. So it will not end, and it will eat into my time. Why do you hire an employee? You hire an employee to double your time. So you are 24 hours now yourself, 24 hours of his. So hiring employee should give you some time of your own. Say I reduce 2 hours of my time. So I only have to work for 6 hours now. So in surveys also in this thing, we only do, I only do certain surveys which come to me directly from the owners. Don't take the jobs from brokers, from agents and things like that. Why? Because then there is a certain reputation at stake at times. So you can be choosy. So this choosiness now has come into me somehow, and I make up time for all kind of social work, because it is very satisfying to do social work. It is very satisfying in all respect. Of course, they all say if you have money, then you can do social work, and all these things only come to your mind when you have money. ऐसा नहीं है, ऐसा बिल्कुल ही नहीं है. You have to curtail your needs. You can't have needs of a elephant and work like an ant. No, if you have needs like elephant, you got to work like elephant, or probably two elephants, to find time. So I don't have much of my needs. Children are grown now, everything is in place. So don't have much requirement, don't have a high lifestyle as such, which I have. Nobody looks up to me for high lifestyle. So so it is a kind of thing which I have balanced it now somehow, that I
Very
will
nice.
find a lot of time.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
for
So I
social.
think, yeah, we can summarize this journey till now, and I will open this forum for questions, or anyone wants to say anything about Captain Gajanan or ask something. One question which is there in the message box is from Captain Kiran Joshi. It has been a very good session. How do we improve assertiveness in Indian mariners? As I find this is a field where we have scope for improvement.
Very right question, Kiran Saab. I mean, you have really hit the nerve on the discussions, because the assertiveness in Indian mariners is a very, very important. And today's Gen Z, which is on board now, or you can say millennial master mariner and chief officers of millennial age, they have something which lacks in them, is interaction. Is communication. Very important. And ये सोच लो कि mentoring तो almost on board ship is नहीं के बराबर है. It is almost not there. There is no mentoring happening on board. I recently, yesterday I was on ship, on a Filipino ship, entire crew was Filipino. So I was asking third officer about the LSAFFA register and few things in that. I wanted, he couldn't understand naturally, it all depends upon that. The cadet was trying to answer, so I asked cadet, when did you learn this? He says, sir, my last ship captain always wanted me to brief him every month on LSAFFA status, So I mean, what I said, this captain hasn't taught him. This captain hasn't taught third officer at all. So mentorship on ship has come to almost standstill. There's no coaching happening, Plus this Gen Z culture somehow has, reduced communications. Like we used to at least sit in smoke room once in a while, once in a day in the evening. Today, these cadets, they don't meet each other. You meet somebody, it's an encroachment in your personal space. I said, how is that possible? You're not going to say hi, hello. You're not going to meet somebody for a purpose, without a purpose. How can that happen? Because on the ships, it has become a very silo kind of personalities on board. So assertiveness, is damn important. I mean, and there's a lot of scope for improvement. That improvement can only be done by communications, by mentoring them, coaching them, by helping them out. doing some cultural exchanges, something like that. You knew when you like our time there was no phone also. So we should take. I still have the diary of mine where before signing off I should take everybody's address and phone number. And those were our cadet days. And I used it until almost I became chief officer. Tera address likh de. I will send you some letters.
Correct.
So somehow stopped.
Yeah, sir, and you have touched a very valid point, sir. And I just want to add on that because I have felt it. It has. I don't know if Captain Nalin Pandey is there online or not because he has not put off his camera. But Captain Pandey, you at times, and there are few more master mariner and chief engineers or industry leaders. For me, it has worked. Whenever I have it, I have doubts, or whenever I find that there is something which I need solvers, and I am okay to even if they perceive me, okay, fine, he is not knowing about this, okay, fair enough. But I have discussed in length for hours and hours together. If I call Captain Pandey, we can just talk for an hours on the topics that I have a doubts or something that he will just keep telling me. So those mentoring session happens unknowingly, but it has worked for me, and it has certainly helped me in growing my leadership journey ashore. So I am sure this suggestion that Captain Gajanan has said on assertiveness, it will come only with the practice. You should be open to ask whatever silly question that comes to your mind. I ask it every day. And recently, Captain Gajanan will watch the day before yesterday when I was going to Ahmedabad. On the way to my airport, I called him up. I fixed the time so that we mutually can agree and discuss. And I told him that I am speaking about Blue. I'm invited by Indian General. I need to know because he is the ambassador for it. And I have learned in 2020, he was writing in one of the shipping magazines, and I have gone through those articles long back and even revised it before going to conclave. So I said, who else will be better? I will just call him and I will directly ask him why to go from all these articles again. And we had about 15-20 minutes of discussion. And trust me, those kind of discussion will give you a full book, whatever time that you will spend in reading through the books and then gaining those knowledge can be easily achieved by talking half an hour to with those leaders whom you think that is the right person to talk about it.
Yeah, nobody know it all. So you should have that quest of asking question, talking to somebody, asking, sir, what to do in this case, So and if you know the answer, you should always give an answer. If you don't know the answer, you can always say, I don't know here, but I'll find out somebody. Be of that, sharing contacts person who can share his contacts. Pandey is one of them.
So seeking the answer is what I would like to advise the young cadets who are listening, that you seek for the right person, you seek the answers from the right person, and that right person, you may feel that he's the right or she is the right person, but he or she will definitely tell you that I do not know, you may go to this person. That's the right guidance. And I have got that from Pandey. I can just call him. I can call him.
To put a quote to this, there is no silly question. There is always a silly answer.
Whatever. And at least those leaders know that if my answer is silly, I will ask him to go with somebody else. Yeah, Captain Pramod. Yeah, Pramodji, please go ahead. Ask your questions. Yeah, Pramod Kumar Singh, you can ask your question. Unmute yourself, please.
Nothing, sir, nothing. Actually, I wanted to hear the Captain Gajanan, sir. I remember him. So I joined this. Nothing. I heard everything. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we are so privileged to have you, Mr. Pramodji. Yeah, Pratik, you want to ask something?
No, sir. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. How are you, sir?
Hi, Pratik. How are you? Good.
I'm good, sir. I'm good, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm good. You are Najman?
Right, sir. The vessel is on a dry dock, so
yeah, we can ask questions, Pratik. We can ask questions now. Yeah. Yep. If you have anything.
Rightly said. So many things you have said, sir. I truly I abide by whatever have you said. However, there was just now I was having a meeting with the ship's crew. I heard a word. There's a word called image. People always run after maintaining their image or to raise up their image, and people are always bothered about their image. Right now, my bosun was telling me something sir, my image is getting spoiled by the people. They are.
We have another meeting in next 15 minutes. Can you just say question, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, sir, what would you have to say on this image, word image? People are running about this thing.
No, no, very true. See, image is basically a perception of your behavior by others, and I mean there are two sides of it. One, you should worry about that people pursue you right way. If you're a hardworking guy, you should not be caught shamming and perceived as a shammer. You know, simple here. Other side, if you worry too much about your image, then you will not be able to put forth the right point. Like if, as I said in the diplomacy, if you are diplomatic, then you can't be giving a fearless opinion. You know, so it works with both ways. So at times you have to see whether am I behaving correctly to be observed as correct person or not. Yes, I continue to do that. In group of people, if you're talking about image, then am I right in opinionating something which I'm somebody else? But then before that, a lot of responsibility has to be there. I say something, I say this wire will not work on the crane, means it will not work on the crane. Am I right to put my foot down? There is no question of image. But of course, if I'm working somewhere, you know, I should be seen, I want to be seen as a safe working person, and I should be one. I should wear a helmet, I should wear a harness, I should wear safety shoes, safety clothing, and work properly, taking all measures. So I should be seen as he's a safe person to work for, or he's a safe person to work, like that.
So basically, Pratik, if you're going on
To not to just bother about maintaining your image always. You should always be like.
Very good.
True.
So, yeah, some questions from you. I see some hands up.
I will add. Captain Gajanan has already said, but Pratik Saab ko add that image is not something that can be built in 1 month or 2 months on the ship, you know. So image also you cannot build yourself, you know. It reflects how you work, how you talk, how you behave, how you walk. So that gives the image. If you are worried of your image, then you will never make the image. Ye pakka hai, you know. So you worry for the honesty, you work honestly, you work for safety, security, like how he said, efficiency. You take care of your juniors, take care of subordinate. So when you keep doing this, the image is a byproduct, you know, is a fringe benefit. It will keep on building yourself. You do not have to build yourself. Automatic hota hai, you know. But if you try to build up image without doing the work, you know, then it will not come up. So Bosan also has to be told कि जो काम है, whatever is your work, you please do it honestly and sincerely, you know. And that's all, you know. His job is not to shout at the junior all the time, but also to tell how to do the work. अब हमारे पास बोसन है, उसको मतलब our chief officer, तो कभी कोई बोसन मतलब I have sailed with many nationality थे कि इंडियन क्रू था, तो उसको मास्टर ने कुछ बंद कर दिया था ओवर टाइम कि 8 o'clock वर्क स्टार्ट्स. तो जब मैं चीफ ऑफिसर ज्वाइन किया तो मेरे यहाँ 8 बजे वो आया. तो हम बोला तू बोसन है, तेरे को 7:30 को आना चाहिए ना, तू 8 बजे क्यों आया? तो इसे कि सर मेरे को ओवर टाइम नहीं मिलता है. सो देन आई अब्यूज्ड हिम आल्सो. आई टोल्ड हिम कि तुमको ओवर टाइम, तू बोसन है ना, तेरे को ओवर टाइम की क्या जरूरत है? यू कम एट 7:30. You are not a crew. 8 o'clock you should be on deck. तुमको आधा घंटा मिलेगा तभी तुम आएगा क्या? You first start coming, and then I will give you end of the month. I will give you 10 hours, 15 hours extra. You know, I cannot tell you every day. So you must come at 7:30. You are a bosun, and your overtime rate is 30 paisa, 40 paisa more than other. You know, hourly overtime. तुम्हारा when you don't want to work, you don't work. You keep walking around. एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी भी आता है ना. सो he cannot behave himself like a OS or Viper or AB, you know. तो ये सारी बातें इसे बिग है, लेकिन आप उसको बताइए कि आप काम करो, एंड देन गिव एंड टेक भी होना चाहिए.
Correct, sir.
Very nice, sir. Anyone else has any questions? So Captain Pandey wanted to say something. Yeah, Simran, you want to ask something? Okay. I've seen cadets, you wanted to ask something to Captain Gajanan. If you are there, please ask your questions. We are about to finish in next 5-10 minutes. Arya Singh, you want to ask? Simran, you want to ask something? Please ask. Yeah, Simran Gandhi, you want to ask something? Please feel free to ask. Yeah, you can unmute yourself and ask.
Hello.
Yeah, please
Good
ask.
afternoon. No, so sorry for the inconvenience. Actually, there were some technical issues from our end. Very sorry for that. And so, first of all, greetings of the day. I am Cadet Simran Gandhi from HIMT Chennai. Your golden words truly inspired us. So, I have one question from
You need to
आवाज नहीं आ
repeat.
रही है.
You need to repeat. We are unable to hear you.
Sir, may I ask?
Yeah,
Please,
please.
please. Yeah, you can ask. If you have a network issue, you can write down. We can ask on your behalf.
So, am I audible to you?
Yeah, you can put in chat box.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, audible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So the doubt is, so as you stated while explaining the strategy of management, that everything depends on us, how we approach others, which is very true. But sometimes in mere chances, the same doesn't reciprocate. What if the receiver is not the same? He is not open towards us. Then how to tackle such situation?
No, true. This is what is happening on board these days. I mean, recently there was a case in one of the big shipping companies where cadet was not being understood by the chief officer. I mean, she had about, of course, she, and cadet was she, and she really had 10, 15 times tried to explain chief officer, but chief officer couldn't understand. See, this situation can happen. So that's time you have to go 2 steps back. And think again. Am I saying probably right things? Am I meeting you at right time? I mean, am I putting the right question? You know, when chief officer is busy in some, very tough job or hard job or very impressing job, at the time you ask an academic question to him, he will naturally not feel right. And it's all about impression,
Yes,
So, aisa hota hai. This does happen on ships, and this is in today's generation, it is happening in multiple times. So when this cadet called me from the ship and told me, sir, wo sunta hi nahi hai, and he's not listening to me, and he's not taking my any comments for, in his safety meeting, I say something and he says, keep quiet, shut up, and all that. What do I do? I say, just lie low. This case will go off. There's no point you taking up the matter with him, you're not listening to me, I'm equal rights and I'm a cadet, and unless there's something safety, you can always escalate to master, but if it is required, you're starting your career now. You don't want to rub on the wrong side. But because without correcting yourself, you correct yourself, then you can take the entire world against you. Never mind.
Yes, sir.
But does happen, these things do happen. I mean, I've seen in one of the 1-2 colleges also, cadets have called me, so and so professor is not listening to us and he's always, I said, I mean, what is there for you to listen? You are there to listen. You are not there to talk. To tell you a very crude thing, in our cadet days, Captain Pandey will agree with me, we were told by everyone, the cadets are to be seen on board, not heard.
Yes.
This was the comment used to be made all the time. You are supposed to be only seen on board, not heard. So today at least you have a dialogue interaction. So take it in that way. When you have tough times, when the times are tough gets going. You know that, no?
And see that nowadays also the senior are being told how to interact with the junior, So even the master and chief officer also, we brief them, we tell them how you behave with the cadets, whether he's a male or female, we tell them. But what happens that as a junior, you cannot select who will be your senior, that is a big problem. You cannot select who is your boss. So boss ko hai ki you have to tolerate sometime, if you get a nasty boss, then instead of cursing the boss, you curse the luck and say that somehow 2 mahina pass kar jaye, chala jaye, bas baat khatam hai. So that's all, and you have already option. Any company, if you complain that he is not good and I don't want to sail with him, they will give you another ship in the next contract. That I can give you guarantee. No company would like that 2 person who does not like each other to sail on the same ship, because there are very less people, So all you have to do is you manage, and managing means is not that you are putting your liberty at stake or you are compromising with ethics. ऐसा नहीं है. वो बोलेगा काम करो. We as a cadet, I also had a very nasty chief officer when I was sailing. अब उसका काम है कि he used to tell me कि कितना fire extinguisher और fire हो जाए जहाज में. You tell me. Of course, as a cadet, I have to know. But there are 50 extinguisher and 50 fire हो जाए some जगह. वो एक भी गलती होगा तो वो बोलेगा मेरे को कि after 7 o'clock you knock up in the evening, you go and collect each fire hose and bring in the bridge in the wheelhouse and get it signed by cadet or third officer, and again you put it back before you sleep. So just think that 50 fire extinguisher, if I have to get from engine room, boiler space, another, it will be 2 o'clock in the night, So, but I had to do 10, 15 days, 20 days. Then one day master saw it, and master said that this guy is a matter what, because I have seen him couple of days bringing the extinguisher. So he asked me, then I said, every day I do some mistake because I forget 1 or 2 extinguisher where it is 50. The chief officer has told me. I'm sure that he has taken task chief officer. The chief officer told me next day that don't do it, because how you will remember all the 50 at one stake? Kahan ek bhi galti hai, he will give punishment. So sometimes you get nasty guy, and you have to bear it. You have to think that when you become chief officer, you will not do all this what he is doing,
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So I can only add now things are becoming better. I can vouch. We have 3-4 generation here. Captain Pandey is the oldest in what I can see here, and then you have Captain Gajanan. We are there, and I'm sure juniors like Pratik and others are also there. So all can vouch that things have improved. I'm sure Captain Pandey generation must have gone with the toughest one, and then of course Captain Gajanan, and then we have also gone through tough phase. Pratik must have gone also. But things have become better. I can tell you, things have become better. Not the ideal situation maybe, but it has become better for sure, and it is likely to become better with the times.
Yeah, it has become.
We'll take the last question from you, and then we can close because already 60.
हमारे कैप्टन धीरज हैं, इनका कुछ नया होगा.
उसके बाद he will sum up. He will sum up. He will be the last one.
लेकिन हमारे समय में तो ये भी था कि चार्टर पार्टी में it used to be written that the top 4 will be only European. It used to be written in the charter party clause. So that was the discrimination. If you see the Asian and European में discrimination, that I have seen, I have faced.
Yeah, Sahira, you have questions?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sahira.
Hello, is it audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Any question, please?
Yeah, I don't have any question, but I can tell that Captain Gajanan was so inspiring today. Inspired me a lot. In the word he talked about the depression, like when you have taken something to achieve or you have taken some task to complete it, just go it. Just do it. Ask someone, help, take a help and do it. So it's so inspiring for me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sahira.
Thank you, Sahira. We are very happy.
Thank you, sir.
I liked it. That is the purpose of whole purpose of this program.
Yeah, correct.
We are fortunate enough to have a leader or a guardian like Captain Pandey, Captain Gajanan. Dheeraj is also there always. So now I would.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Pandey, you wanted to say or ask something? We don't have much time, but something on blue economy or in the pilot thing or something that social activities that Captain Gajanan is doing it. You want to say something? We have 5 minutes more to close up this program.
Captain Gajanan साहब का है कि I have heard, but very closely I came to know that one of the pilot है Captain Gautam नाम था from JNPT. He was sick in Apollo Hospital. So one day he sent Captain Najib sir to find out. Apollo में I knew few people. So, and then I thought कि Gautam may be from Tamil Nadu,
Oh, he was from Patna. He was our batchmate actually.
Later on I came to know from Captain Dheeraj sahab. So then I used to go because somebody else, he has told me every day I used to go to Apollo. Yes. So then he, and I also knew the region. And I didn't know that where he is because nobody has told me. But that, and every day he used to call. And a couple of times, we had to wait with the a few people in the Institute of Marine Engineer office, because we cannot wait 3, 4, 5 people in the Apollo hospital itself. So that was the very touchy point of his other than profession, that other than profession kya hai. Later on, I came to know Dheeraj Saab say that, he was from Patna, and, Dheeraj ke relative he the, then came to know later. But finally, he was not saved. 2-3 महीना इलाज चला, कोरोना 2 बार कोरोना हुआ long war. So that is how I came to know, and we came more closer, I can say, that so apart from the job, everybody does the job, but other than the job is that is the other face of Captain Gajanan. So very nice of him. Thank you, sir.
The formation of AIMPA also was on a very crucial point when the Captain Gupta fell and lost his life in Bombay. So that was a formation point of AIMPA. So AIMPA, of course, is a humongous task, because getting all these pilots together itself is a big task. So we are doing a lot of things now. Let's see. I mean, we got a small kind of permanent seat now in Ministry of Shipping. They ask us before asking anything. We take them monthly some complaints about the ports, navigation channels, and navigational aids, and safety and security of pilots. This that. So it's a good interaction thing. Seafarers Rights Committee also. Amresh also joined that lead, because the shore leave thing was there, and Kamal Chadda, myself, the Nazir Upadhyay, and Amresh Kumar, we took it up. Again, there was some fearless opinion required. So we went and met Minister and told him, sir, agar shore leave nahi diya, तो we will dharna karenge, and DG office se bhi koi ghar jayega nahi. Seafarer in this thing and sleep in the same. I mean, I told this in front of Minister. What do you mean? Or what do you want to stand up for? How many times you would say, "Kare nahi, Minister बैठे हैं, कुछ बोलो मत, छाते रहो. अरे नहीं, जलोटा साहब बैठे, कुछ बोलो मत." That time both were there. Jalota Sahab was there, and I mean even Shyamji also was there. In front of them I said, sir, मैं धरना करूंगा और डीजी ऑफिस से कोई घर नहीं जाएगा, बॉम्बे पोर्ट से कोई घर नहीं जाएगा, सब दिन में उधर ही सोएंगे, रात में उधर ही सोएंगे, सुबह ब्रेकफास्ट घर से आएगा डब्बा, तो ठीक है, करके देखते सर ऐसा, तो पता चलेगा कैसे लगता है. And it all, then they all got into top gear. Minister promised he will do it. Anyway, so I mean, social unity is something that you always keep finding something and keep doing it. Like we had one ship in Dubai here, Med Sea Fox, a lot of problems, 11 months, no wages, no water. You must have seen those photographs. So FTA in Dubai is a big thing. It's something like, very, very big body, a government body. So I went to FTA office. I said, never mind. I went and I told him, what is this happening? I mean, Indian seafarers are dying. So I showed him a video. By God, I'm telling you, nobody must have gone to him. People must have told him on the phone, on the emails. When somebody went, he could feel my pain, and we signed off everybody. In 11th month, we got everybody off with all wages in their hand. So करना पड़ता है.
Okay, sir. I think next time probably for leaders like you, we have to increase time to 3 hours, maybe 1.5 hours. We have finished 1.5 hours. So over to you, Captain Dheeraj, for summing up and whatever you want to say, something from your side, or you want to ask something.
Nothing as such. Thank you, Captain Gajanan, for inspiring all of us, including the juniors, and the feedbacks from Captain Pandey. So, I know him for some time. Then in between, Corona came, and then we had a gap. So I think last I met you was in CMMI function.
Yes, sir.
And hope to catch you sometime in Dubai. I will be there from 7th onwards in Dubai. If you're there, we can catch up.
Yeah. Please come, sir. Please give a call and we meet.
Yeah. So what Captain Gajanan said, he left early, and then he told that better do your own. So one thing I would surely vouch for, that in case you are not looking for long-term sailing, whole of life sailing, better quit early than going in 40s and late 40s, because when you step ashore, it is again cadetship starts. So if you think you have to, you make your career path accordingly, and then decide the steps. In my case, I also quit. I started sailing in 96, then I quit sailing in 2007. So because my concept was clear that once I have become master, I'm not going to sail further as master, because my concept was that now I have become master. Now what next? How long I'm going to do the same job? So, and then slowly I did some setup of ship management companies, then became a partner in a ship management company. So that is one thing what Captain Gajanan said, like, no, and like, if you venture out, you should not, if you get an opportunity, you should certainly do for doing something on your own, which will like, no, give you a much more balanced life, like, no, time for yourself, time for your job, time for the society, time for the maritime cause or whatever it is. So thank you, Captain Gajanan, for joining us, and like, no, all the words were very inspiring, and I think all will be like, no, benefiting out of it, and surely we'll continue with this. I think Captain Amresh is putting quite a lot of effort in organizing all this, so thanks to him also as well.
Thank you,
Right,
sir.
sir, right.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. And there are many learnings in all this discussion that we have had in last 1.5 hours. I will of course summarize it and I'll put it in LinkedIn, and as well as I will share it in our group also. But one thing common that I have found, this is the third episode. First episode, all three of them were very spontaneous when I approached them that I want to invite you as my guest. For what? They know that we are not in a commercial platform, neither we are some big name. It is just for the couch of seafarers, probably for the cadets, juniors. Maybe only 10 people will hear, or 20 people will hear, or maybe 100 people will hear it out. But they were so prompt, and that selflessness that I have seen in all three of them, and I'm sure the future leaders that I'm going to invite, they will also have the same kind of empathy, compassion, and selflessness, is what we all should learn from these leaders and grow in whatever we are doing it. So thank you very much, sir. Again, hope that we all become some part of you guys, what you have achieved, what you have done it for the society. We become at least some parts of whatever you are doing it. And one learning that I have learned from all of you, which we try to kind of copy, is that mentor whatever best that you can do it. Be available for the people with whatever you have. Not necessarily, as you said, money is not required everywhere. Even if we can give some times, which I see Captain Dheeraj is also there, we always find him available. I don't have to tell about Captain Pandey Saab. My first meeting himself was in 2016. He was not knowing me. Neither I was knowing him. And the importance he gave me, and that is what I think the true leadership defines. I was not knowing him. He was not knowing me. I just met him for some maybe business purpose, some customer, for my company. But the accommodation, the adaptedness, the comfortability that he gave me, and it never became that as if it was some kind of business meeting. It always became like family meeting, and then we continued and grown our relationship. Same thing happened with Dheeraj, same thing happened with Captain Gajanan, and many more that I am interacting with in every day. It never starts commercially. So that is one thing that I have learned from all three of them, and I'm sure it will continue. Openness towards the society, towards the fraternity that we are all working from. We are working for, and that is what it should continue. So thank you very much, sir. And thank you very much all of you to join Sailor today. Captain Nangya Sahab, thank you very much for live streaming it in your YouTube channel. All those people who have not been part of live, now you can always watch in the YouTube later on in Sailor Today YouTube channel. Thank you, sir. If anyone want to say anything, last word from anyone, please. And then we can close this.
On your program, so people, we also can learn, people also will actually benefited to learn things about the journey. What I said is that we lack that role model in our industry, and you're on the path of creating them. So please do that continuously. And
we will, sir.
Any support, we are always open to you.
We will. That goes without saying. And most of my idea is basically, see, I'm not only touching the sailing journey, which is going to help, of course, the new generation, but I am also touching the entrepreneur journey, because all these young cadets, they are going to become entrepreneur. And as Captain Dheeraj said, that if at all they want to become entrepreneur, better to start early. I mean, they might not need to sail till captain or chief engineer. They might quit it chief officer also, because nowadays many opportunities are there. So thank you very much, sir. We have overshot the time. It has been 1 hour and 36 minutes. So thank you very much, sir. Captain Pandey sir, thank you very much. Captain Dheeraj, bye. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, cadets.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sajira, thank you. Thanks.